how much the weekend may have taken it out of them?
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe just psychologically as well. You're going into that game, they know they must win to set up this game essentially today. Man City had it's so strange that Man City have won the game 1-0 and we're disappointed it's only 1-0. But obviously you've got to take the whole context into consideration. Burnley, where they're at, it could go down to goal difference at the end of the season and the chances that Man City created, especially in that first half. So, yeah, it was just a strange game all round, but coming into here thinking Man City are going to score more goals than
I suppose you can't, whether you're Arsenal or Manchester City, you can't go into every game now thinking about goal difference, can you? I mean, and that was Erling Haaland's point, I suppose, with Juliet was, you've got to do the bottom line of winning. Who knows where one of them may stumble between now and the end of the season? So you can't become fixated on goal difference, can you?
No, you can't. And I don't think City came across that way today, either in the way they played. I think Burnley did what we expected Burnley to do, which was to sit back deep, lie low, defend well, compact, organised, all of the things which Manchester City are great at playing against, but it's just a densely populated area inside the box that you have to find that killer pass through the eye of a needle in order to create that opening. And those were sort of few and far between. Man City did have chances, especially in the first half, where they maybe could have, put those goals on the board earlier. But I think the process, the way that Arsenal play as well, is very process-driven. They're very strong on set pieces, as we know. Very strong in the final third in terms of the players they've got. Yeah, OK, of late, probably struggling to find those connections. But it's not going to change now. It might come down to goal difference. Both managers will set the team up exactly the same, tweaks here and there for certain types of games, different opposition. But fundamentally, both teams have got this far doing what they do so well. So we're all strapped in, ready for what this running will look like.
In terms of what you just said there, the goal difference, you can't go into the game thinking about goal. You can't even go into the game thinking about the fixtures anymore because we all expect this to be 4 or 5. Anyone watching this in Burnley, the position that they're in, and that wasn't to be. And everyone could go through it and say, oh, Arsenal's fixtures are a little bit easier, and Man City's. But no one's taking into consideration the pressure, the psychological battle that goes within.
So are you telling me when you were in the title race that you were in?
Yeah. I couldn't sleep at night.
Okay.
Going into the last 6 games of the season,
why couldn't you?
It's a different psychological. So you've got winners. So and I mentioned this before. When you've got someone like Sergio Aguero or a David Silva or a Vincent Kompany, they're destined for great things because of the players. And that's not just because of what they did at City beforehand. Their careers demanded that. For someone who come through the academy, it was a little bit different. So I'm always thinking, I don't want to be the guy to let them down. Yes, I know I had ability and I deserved to be there, but my mindset was a little bit different. So coming into these, why I always said, if Man City in the Arsenal game can stay within 3 points and then they can come into this game that they have tonight and make it equal, I believe Man City will win because of the psychological battle, because they have leaders and they have experience going into it. And I had to draw off the sort of top players within my squad who have won things before, that I could rely on them. And when I look at Arsenal, they've got great players, great talents, but I'm looking at who can they turn to in terms when you need to get through that. And I looked at Arsenal the week and I'm thinking, who's going to turn up for them? And they had the chances and big chances. And that's where you need your big players to turn up. And that's what Man City seem to do more often than not.
But if I follow your train of thought then, and not wanting to let down the leaders or the experienced players, this squad, I suppose, is slightly different, but it has got a lot of newish players in there who haven't won a title yet. So will they, and the Arsenal team obviously have got a different kind of pressure. If you were in this City team now with some title winners, but you weren't a title winner, would you have that same feeling of not wanting to let people down?
Yeah, I would have that same feeling, definitely. But opening it out, look at the manager. Arteta's won FA Cup, Pep's won multiple leagues, Champions Leagues, whatever. So you've got that experience from the manager as well. You can have that, you can draw on that experience. So that's why it's favourites. It's not whether Arsenal are a fantastic team. And we've talked about Arsenal so much. And you know when you did the graphic before the game and how many games they've been top.
The days that they've been top.
Yeah, because they're a fantastic team, but it takes more than just being a fantastic team to win the league.
The psychology, and it's changed because up till now, Manchester City have been chasing Arsenal.
Correct.
But now they're level. That will be interesting to see how
Yes.
Manchester City are now going to adapt or keep things exactly the same, because Arsenal might actually want to switch into a position where they're chasing. Because it might twist the mentality for them, and it might be exactly what they need in terms of finding that extra piece of motivation, which, don't get me wrong, you don't need to be motivated to be in this situation. It should be an innate thing as an athlete, as a footballer, in this situation, title races. But it's amazing how the ebbs and flows of the way the season's panned out, and now we're at a point where they're now level. Am I right in saying they've got exactly the same form as well? The amount of games won, the amount of games drawn, the amount of games lost. It couldn't be more identical. So where we're at now, the psychology has now shifted. Man City had to jump over a huge barrier at the weekend to beat Arsenal. Huge. And now they've had to jump over a barrier today, beat Burnley, and get the job done. But now it's shifted. The table's the same.
They're the remaining fixtures, which we are going over ad nauseum at the moment. But let me, and as we leave that there, let me put this point to you. Somebody made this comparison to me with Rory McIlroy at the Masters a year ago, right? When he blew a lead, ended up in a playoff, and his caddy said to him as they went down the fairway to the tee to start the playoff, if you'd been offered this at the start of the week, you'd have taken it. If you'd said to Arsenal fans, with 5 games to go, you'd be level on points with Manchester City, level on goal difference with Manchester City, it's only on goals scored, would they have taken it?
100%.
Exactly.
And
So that's the mindset.
in a Champions League semi-final.
Yeah.
It's absolutely you would, but I think that again we come back to the hype and the situation and the expectation, but the reality of where Arsenal are at right now is outstanding.
So what it actually then boils down to is can everybody connected reset their mindset to go, we'd have taken this?
I think everybody's taken a push of the reset button after these two sides went head-to-head on Sunday, because the emotion and the intensity building up to that game, for the outcome to have happened 2-1 Manchester City, I feel like now we're going into almost a mini-season where these two sides with these sets of fixtures, they're going to be waiting for each other to slip up.
And people say Everton away and Bournemouth away could be City's 2 most difficult fixtures left. Before they go to Everton away, Arsenal have 2 Premier League games. They have Newcastle at home this weekend when City are in FA Cup action, and then Fulham at home before City play Everton. They could be 6 points clear again before City next play.
Yeah, and that could give them a boost. But if you look at the Champions League semi-final, you would expect Arsenal, with the form they showed this season, to beat Newcastle and to beat Fulham. It's what the Atletico Madrid game takes out of them, because I believe they can beat them. Have they got enough grit and determination to win all of those games? They've got the quality. And I feel as though when we talk about Arsenal, it's, they've bottled it. All this, again, social media, they've not bottled it. It's just they open the door for Man City. It's still in their hands. They can do it. It's just what those games in the Champions League take out of them, because against Atletico Madrid and Simeone, they're going to grind them down.
Yeah, they are. And it's funny because we speak about the game tonight, Manchester City, they didn't put in the performance, but they got the result.
Correct.
Arsenal at the weekend put in a performance, but didn't get the result.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by the twist of it. But if you're Arsenal, off the back of that City game, as soon as you get over the result and you put it to bed, and the fact that the way that they played, they've teed themselves up to finish the season strongly. I thought they were outstanding in terms of the performance. They hit the post twice. Yes, Manchester City hit the post as well, but they created chances against one of Europe's top sides, and I think that they can take great confidence from that. But obviously, the headlines will be that, Arsenal are slipping up. Well, they're not. They're still right in it, and the league table tells you that.
So, would you expect them? I don't like asking you questions. I don't like asking you questions that could then be replayed over and over, making you look daft.
But you're still going to ask
it. Yes, I am, Iceland.
Of course you are.
Would you expect, even though what you said about the Champions League and everything, would you expect Arsenal to be 6 clear by the time City next play?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, you would.
I would. I would. Yeah, I would, because they've got... They lost in the League Cup final. Obviously, that was a blow. And the reason why I say that, because... And we was having a debate at the weekend with Roy, and he was saying, well, they lost. They put in a good performance, but they lost. But you can take something from a performance. They've been very good in a low block, And there was better pressing. Havertz is back. Gyökeres is back. They need to get Saka back. As soon as Moreno's a big miss for them. Timber's a big miss for them. But if you look at the game on the whole, Man City were wobbling for a little bit. Arsenal have big chances. It's just about taking... Football's all about moments, as we know. They need to take the moments when they get them. And if they do that, there will be, there'll be 6 points clear.